Hello. Um, I hope this works out pretty well. I had the book. It's kind of a funny story, which wasn't a very good book. But half the time the guy's in the hospital, so well, most of the time. But we're gonna make the hospital floor that he's on, or I am. I don't know why I said we're. I think that well, the hospital is like a weird H, so we'll start with that. Oh, that's okay. Okay, so as you can see, it's like awkward. That's because, well, most of this place doesn't make any sense to me, and I don't think I would really know where to put this at all. um, and I do know that there's supposed to be some kind of cafeteria that I'm gonna put here. And there's supposed to be some kind of rooms, really small rooms, but that's okay right now. Probably resize things in a second. Okay, well, it is a hospital. There is an elevator. This isn't supposed to be the first floor, but I'm not gonna make a bunch of floors. I'll use that one. Just to make it seem like, you know, it's not on the first floor. There you go. So, I don't know, just be rooms, so this. Supposed to be allowed to like watch movies here or something, and then also have the bedrooms. So it's really weird building. Let me know if you And apparently this hospital lets them smoke, and there's supposed to be some kind of smoking room, so I'm gonna use that as a smoking room. Even though there's like no way for that in The Sims. This one is supposed to be like a nurse's station, so part of it you're supposed to like be able to, you know, like see over at least. It's supposed to have some kind of counter, because they have to get medication, because they're in the psychiatric hospital type thing. So they need a place for that. And then there's like the actual nurses area. I don't know how big the rooms would be. I'm guessing they'd be like sadly some kind of prison type thing. There's like 2 people in each room. So and it's also supposed to be a bathroom in each room, so they'll probably have like more space in a second. But there's also these ones over here, which I don't think are the same size, which I'll fix in a second. And then they also have these rooms that are just for showers, so they just have like shower rooms. Where is the... They're not equally sized at all, you know? Okay, they're equally spaced now. So yeah, like 2 more over here, I guess. This would be like bigger ones, I think. Or they'll just be uneven. Yeah. Now there's way more rooms than this. I just don't think I'll be able to fit it on this little property thing here. I know there's like kind of small windows. of course, dining area should have some windows. And in the book, it says that it's divided by like a glass thing, so I guess I'll put some bigger windows out here. This is a dining room area, so I should probably have a door. So yeah, read that. They said that this room is supposed to be like blue, so I feel like it would be like a half type thing, like this type thing, but not with stripes. Yeah. I never said anything about the floor, so I'm just gonna put. Really, even has both tiles. Use the acceptable floor tiles. Put it in here too. And this is supposed to be like a lobby type thing, I guess. And I feel like there would be some kind of wall here too. Just because, you know, they don't want people just trying to leave whenever. Yeah, this room is like the smoke room, I guess. And that room's not very important to the story. Let's work on this room, I guess. So it's supposed to be like a dining room type thing, but it's like a dining hall. This room is blue, so I feel like there'd be like more fun counters in here. But it's like. What? Yeah, that's not. Just think that. Maybe it's not next wall. Maybe it's over here. There's a really good food in here. Come check kitchen. There you go. Then, it says in here that they have like round tables. So in the book, Craig, the main character, actually gets there when they're having lunch. So like the first thing he does is like just go have lunch with these people. After one of the guys shows him around. I forgot which guy it was. I think it might have been. No, I don't remember. But there's like they confirmed that there's like 25 people in here, so there's like a couple tables. They say that there's more than 25, but like some people just don't leave their rooms, and they kind of have these like foldy chairs. Oops. There you go. And then of course lights. There is lights in this place. They're not just in darkness. Definitely have these kind of lights though. They don't got fancy lights. And I'm sure they have these kind of lights like throughout the whole building. I don't know what kind of lights. I think they'd maybe have the smaller ones. Make it look nicer. So there's like two different nurses areas. There's like the nurse station, and then there's like the nurse room. I think that's what they're called. This is like the nurse room where like the family members can like check in and stuff to see their whoever the heck's in here. And then this is like where they get their medicine. But also next to here somewhere there's like a phone because they can like call people at certain times. So I'm gonna put like not with a wall, but like a fake little phone booth type thing. I feel like it'd be over here. Phone booth area. This is kind of important because Craig uses the phone quite a lot to call his family for one thing, and then also talk to his friends. His friends were a big role in why he's there in the first place. There's not really an actual phone booth in The Sims, I don't think. Why? Yeah, there's not. So I'm gonna put a bookshelf. Pretend like that's a phone, I guess. But his friends end up well, his one friend Nia, I think, somehow figures out that he's in here, which he didn't want anyone to know because he didn't want anyone to know that he was depressed. And Craig actually checked himself into this on accident because he uh, was suicidal and decided that he was going to kill himself, but then decided not to, and went and what is it? Went to the hospital, which is a great step for a kid that's like a freshman in high school and failing everything. A big part that his friends played is that they got him to smoke pot and mess up everything, I guess. I don't really know how that even worked, but his friends did not help him get him better very much. They said that they had viewed movies over here, so I'm trying to like put a movie thing in here without it being like weirdly close to someone's door. Which I don't think is gonna be possible. We're gonna put it on this side. Just yeah, we're definitely gonna have to move this forward. The whole place. So yeah, Craig checked himself in. His friend Nia figured out that he was here somehow. Called him. Well, first of all, actually, what happened is Nia or Craig called Nia when he first was feeling like that because he wanted to know if he ever had a chance with her because he very much had a crush on Nia. And she said that he did. So he's like, okay, cool. Nice to know that. Like, getting, like, loose ends together for himself. But he didn't tell him or tell her what he was planning. So she was just like, oh, okay, don't do anything stupid. Bye, I guess. And then he's like, well, dang, I can't sleep. I'm gonna read this book my mom has. His mom had this book that was like about getting over like the loss of a loved one or a breakup or something like that. And it's just like, yeah, suicide hotline in there because it's useful. And it was just like, yeah, if you feel suicidal, go to the hospital because that is an emergency. I'm gonna use this over here because I feel like it's fun. This is kind of like their activities area, and people just kind of like hang out over here. There's probably also some like more round tables over there. Which I'll add like 2 over here. It's supposed to be like an activities room, but I don't know where that would exactly be. So I'm just gonna say that it's like over here with everything else. And then what was I saying? So yeah, Craig was reading the book, saw the hotline, decided like said that it was an emergency, went to the hospital. They said you're very brave for doing this, all that type of stuff, you know, make him comfortable, whatever. And then he's like, oh cool, I get to see their doctor, like their therapist or psychologist or whatever. And he was like, sure, I'll see them. And then he had to wait, and he thought that he was just waiting to see the doctor. But what was really happening is he checked himself into the psychiatric part of the hospital without realizing it. And so his like mom signed and everything and all that. So he like couldn't leave for at least 5 days because they had to make sure that he was okay. And then yeah, he didn't know where he was going, and then he was like, shoot, I'm in the crazy place. His own words. And then he's here, he sees like all the posters and stuff. He sees one of the guys and he's like, oh wait, this is where I am. And he's talking to a nurse and he's just like, I don't think I should be here. And she's like, well, you have to be here for 5 days because your mom signed it and you signed it as well. So he's here for, I think he's here for exactly 5 days. He checks himself in on like a Sunday. I think he checks himself in on Sunday. He leaves on Thursday. He ends up like before he got here, he couldn't eat, he couldn't sleep, any of that stuff. So he ended up actually being able to eat the first night that the first day that he's here, which is a big step, even just because like it's just the first day. So he's able to like eat. He even goes and gets like more food like already first day. And he tells his mom about it and she's like so super proud of him. But he doesn't think that it's that big of a deal, and then they're just like, no, it's not, it's a big deal because this is something new for you. You know, he doesn't think it's that important. That to be carpet in their rooms though. I mean, their rooms aren't really customized. These people haven't really, they don't plan on being here for long. So they're probably not there for long. Yeah. Oh, he ends up liking it here. You know, he's like come to terms with being here, so he like tries to make it the best that he can. He just doesn't want his friends to find out, which then Nia kind of picks up on what he was saying about like all that. So then he's like, well, she decided to check if he was there, and he was. So she's just like, oh, you wanted to kill yourself over me, and making it about her. And he's just like, this isn't about you. Like, why are you saying this? And Nia isn't the greatest person, but she also was on medication, so she also had depression. So he told her about his depression. So they kind of like bonded over that for like 2 days. And then Nia tried to make it kind of about herself, and he didn't really like that. So he kind of decided that he was done with Nia. So he like just he said that he felt her disappear in his mind. So that's why like the phone booth is really important. Yeah, that's why the phone booth is important because he decided to say screw you to all his friends on the phone. Yeah. There's also music playing all the time, so I feel like there'd be some speakers places. Um, he has a roommate, which I don't know how to pronounce his name because it's a African name, I think. But they have like beds across from each other. They also have a bathroom, so I gotta figure out where to put the bathroom. And he has this other friend, whose name is Aaron. He's kind of like his best friend, except for he's not a great person either. And Nia and Aaron are dating, and he's just like, I know they're not rubbing it in my face, but it feels like they're rubbing it in my face. So like his relationship with their relationship didn't help him in any way. Just a strange way to think about it, but yeah, that's kind of how it went. Oh, yeah, he didn't like them for that. He didn't really know how to go about it either. Like, he just wasn't great at that type of stuff. Oh, but yeah, this one like Egyptian guy didn't like to leave his room, and he kind of like only liked Egyptian music, but like they didn't have any there, so they didn't ever play it. So um Craig knew that what his friend that Aaron that he didn't like had his dad had this type of music, so he asked him to bring him a record play like a record thing, and he got to play him. He got to listen to the music that he liked because of Craig. It was a pretty cool thing that happened in the book. Like that was actually like a groundbreaking moment for that guy. And yeah, they don't have much stuff either because they're not allowed to have like a phone or anything like that. So I think they kind of have like tiny dressers, I guess. He doesn't really ever talk about the bathroom because it's weird. He talked about the bathroom in the beginning and it was kind of weird. Yeah. I'm honestly very surprised that this book was even in the library because it is just so like out of nowhere. Like like I don't understand how they even have these books because it just does so strange. Like it's an important book because it talks about mental health, but it's like not a good book. Sure. He talks about having his first cold shower in his life in like one of these bathrooms. He also talks about how there's posters everywhere. Like one of them says like quiet healing in process or something like that. They also have like they have these activity days where they like can like do crafts and stuff. So like one of the days they actually do craft type stuff, so they like draw things. And during that, he remembers that he likes to draw. Like he was depressed, he didn't get out of bed, he didn't do anything. So when he gets here, he's like, this place makes you do things. Because, you know, they want you to actually feel better about yourself. So like, he starts, what is it? He starts, trying to think, drawing. So he used to draw these like maps because he lives in like New York, so he really likes the maps of like not New York, Manhattan, like that area. What is this? I don't know. I feel dumb right now. I just said that. But yeah. Oh, also they played cards. So I'm gonna put that down as cards because I know it's like envelopes, but I'm gonna say they're cards. Um, but also their belongings are kept in like things back here because you know they're not gonna just get rid of them because that's just rude. But they can't have their stuff, so they like can't have their phones. They can't have. That's why they have like the phone box in there. But they can't have those things, so they like have them in there. Also, so he has to give them like his phone first thing, and he's like, "But how am I gonna reach my teachers and my email and stuff?" Like he's just thinking about all these things that are gonna pile up. But he calls them tentacles, like what things that don't make him feel very good, pretty much. Things that cause him stress. That looks like a house door. Like he has like his tentacles, which are like his school, because he's in a very like special school. Like not special, but like uh, what is it called? I forget what the school is actually called, but it's like supposed to be for like smarter kids. So it's like that kind of special way type thing. Like I'm gonna use this as his like sketchbook. He doesn't have a sketchbook in the thing, but there's not like just a sheet of paper type thing. So I'm gonna go with that. He pretty much um, he draws. He draws the. Oh my god. He has a bunch of papers that he draws on with like a nice pencil that someone gave him. That pretty much is like his maps, but it's like different than just a map because like in the map it shows like it's more like a brain because this one lady that's there, she first called it, she's like, oh, it looks like a brain, and he's like, it doesn't look like a brain, and then he's like, actually I can see how it looks like a brain. So then he started calling them his brain maps, and towards the end he actually makes a brain map for everyone, like, but based on how they look. So it's like, oh, she she's she like how their mood is pretty much. So like one guy's like he's fast. His name's uh like Armillo or something like that. Uh, pretty much he is very like quick. He likes doing things like fast. So he like wakes everyone up and like gets everyone to get their medication on time and pushes everyone to get food and all that type of stuff because, you know, he wants them to do better too. He's also a patient. He's just a cool guy though. I think he's pretty cool. And shoot, I forgot where I was going with that. Oh yeah, the art thing. So he helps him. What? No, he doesn't help him. Craig draws like his brain, and he's like, oh, his brain would be crazy. There'd be like things going everywhere, like nothing's in order, like that, like rivers going through things and whatnot, like funny type things like that. So at the end, he was like making these maps for people, and they were all like loving it because they all like loved what he did. They thought that he was great. A bunch of other people thought that he was great at it too. So yeah, at the end, he actually decides that he's going to switch schools and go to an art school, which he thinks would be more his style, that he would like it better, and that it would like be a good change from his school that he's at right now. Because the school that he's at is supposed to be like, for like, what I've already explained it. It's supposed to be for, he like had to take a crazy test to get into, like, I can't think of the things I'm trying to say. But, he gets into this school, which like starts it all, and then he's like, oh yeah, I'm in, it's pretty professional, something crazy like that. uh and he realizes that he's probably not gonna be able to do this, so he like is like super depressed because everyone else is better than him at the school, because he's not doing his work and not doing all this other stuff, and like pretty much giving up on school at this point. I keep backtracking into the story, so sorry about that. But yeah, he realizes that he likes to do art more than anything. Like, he doesn't like math, he doesn't like these other things. He really likes art. So he decides that he's gonna tell his parents that he wants to change schools. And his dad's like, "Oh, you're giving up?" And it's like, "It's not giving up. I'm just doing what I can do." Which his mother understands, luckily. And then his dad like lets him do anyway, even though he doesn't think that it's the greatest idea, which is fine. Also, pretty good fact about this is that Craig is 15, and he is put on the adult floor, because there's like a kids floor, like a not a kids but like a teens floor, and then like an adult floor. But the teens floor is actually getting renovated, so he's put on this one, which is fine because none of them are crazy or anything like that. Not crazy, but like none of them are harmful. So like he goes here. He meets this other girl here who's named Noelle. She uh was a very pretty girl before she got here, but then she like cut up her face with like scissors because people liked her too much for her beauty, but like people that weren't supposed to like her like that. Like bad stuff. And she's here. She's another kid. She's been here for a while though, because her scars are like healed up a good amount. She's not allowed to like do things by herself usually because of that. So she like kind of like doesn't hang out with other people. And she starts talking to Craig, and Craig's like cool with her. Craig pictures girls in a weird way. It's kind of gross. So like he explains his thoughts about Nia, his like friend, and it's just like not nice to read. It's not very cool. And it gets kind of better towards the end, but not really. So yeah, he first sees her in the dining hall, and he's talking to this one guy that it starts with, his name starts with an H, but I forgot what it is. And they're talking, and this guy likes to talk about all the other people. So he's like being like, "Oh yeah, this guy has this problem, this guy's here for this guy's here for this. And Craig's like trying to hold in his laughter because he thinks that it's funny at the end of this. Even though it's like sad, he thinks it's kind of funny. He's like, I shouldn't be laughing at this, but I think it's kind of funny. This is interesting about him. Also, there's supposed to be like some kind of waiting room area over here. It's very bare over here, but there's not much going on over there. So he ends up towards the end of the book. He's like making his drawings and he's feeling better about himself. He's like, I can do these things. He's taking his medication like he's supposed to. He knows that he's better than his friends and that he can like do better things than they can because his friends are kind of just bad. And then he decides to bring in a film for everyone to watch with his dad. So him and his dad are like sitting in here with everyone watching a movie. So that's like that's like a good part of it. And yeah. No, he at the end of the book he comes to terms with like being there. Like one of those main problems is like he doesn't like that he's there, but he's fine with it at the same time. So he's just like, man, I don't want anyone to know about this. And then he's just like worried about all of the bad things happening on the outside world, which is like the phone connects him to the outside world. So yeah, this is the hospital floor. I hope this isn't too long, and I hope this is a good thing. This was kind of fun making this and talking about the book, even though the book wasn't that cool.